Kola liked to say he was a free man, but freedom, to him, meant palm wine, loud laughter, and coming home whenever his legs could still find the door. Every evening, without fail, he sat at the palm wine joint, legs stretched out, chest forward, telling anyone who cared to listen how difficult life was. "Marriage is hard work," he would say, lifting his calabash. "A man needs to relax." Someone would usually ask, "And your wife?" Kola would wave his hand. "She is strong. Women are made for endurance." At home, Abney did not know she had been promoted to endurance equipment. Her days began before sunrise. She roasted groundnuts, sorted vegetables, and walked to the market with a tray balanced on her head and worries balanced in her heart. She fed the children, paid school levies little by little, and still found the strength to greet her husband respectfully when he returned at night smelling of palm wine and pride. One night, as usual, Kola burst into the house. "Woman, I am hungry." Abney answered calmly, "There is soup, but it is small. Tomorrow is market day. I will." Before she could finish, his hand landed hard across her face. The children screamed. Abney steadied herself, blinking back tears. She said nothing. Silence, she had learned, did not provoke him further. But that night something changed. The following evening, Kola came home even drunker than usual. He tripped over the stool and cursed the furniture. "Food," he shouted. Abney, exhausted and pushed beyond her limit, said softly, "Kola, please sit down. The children are watching." That sentence angered him like an insult. He raised his hand again. This time, Abney pushed him away instinctively. Kola lost his balance, fell flat on his back, and lay there staring at the ceiling as if the sky had betrayed him. After a long silence, he groaned loudly. "I am not getting up." Abney crossed her arms. "Why?" "You pushed me," he said dramatically. "Bring a live fowl first." "A live fowl?" she repeated, shocked. "Yes," he insisted. "You must appease me." Even the children stared at him in confusion. Abney laughed, short, sharp, uncontrollable laughter. "Kola, you fell because you were drunk, not because of me." He remained on the floor, grumbling until embarrassment forced him up. That laughter was the beginning of the end. 2 weeks later, something far more dramatic happened. One night, Kola beat Abney so badly that neighbors intervened. Her wrapper was torn, her cheek swollen. The children clung to her crying. That night, Abney sat awake until dawn. In the morning, she packed quietly. When the children asked where they were going, she said, "To where shouting will not wake you at night." She took them to her parents' house. When Kola discovered the empty house, he did not reflect. He celebrated. "Let her go," he boasted at the palm wine joint. "A woman that stays too long forgets her place." That was when Ngozi entered his life. He had noticed her before, always neat, always smiling, always ready with a plate of food at the beer parlor. "Kola," she would say sweetly, "have you eaten?" She cooked for him even before marriage. Pepper soup, stew, rice. She laughed at his jokes and listened to his complaints about Abney. "That woman didn't appreciate you," Ngozi would say. "A man like you deserves peace." Kola felt like a king again. He married her quickly. The change came quietly, then suddenly. The sweet voice disappeared. The laughter stopped. Ngozi began to question everything. "Where were you? Why are you late? Where is the money?" The first time Kola shouted at her, she shouted back. The first time he raised his hand, she raised her voice. "Touch me and I will scatter this house." Food became conditional. Respect became a battle. Worst of all, months passed, then years. No child. Villagers whispered. Ngozi turned her frustration into fire. She insulted him publicly, denied him peace, and reminded him daily of his failures. One night, exhausted, hungry, and humiliated, Kola sat alone and remembered Abney. She never insulted him, never denied him food, never embarrassed him. He whispered to himself, "I destroyed gold and chased dust." Ashamed, Kola sought Abney. He knelt before her parents and said, "I was cruel. I mistook patience for weakness." Kola's knees sank into the dusty floor of Abney's parents' house, and for the first time in his life, pride did not follow him there. "I was wicked," he said, his voice low and broken. "I drank peace and poured out violence. I am sorry." Abney stood by the doorway, thinner than before but steadier somehow, as though pain had sharpened her instead of breaking her. She listened without interrupting, her eyes calm, her face unreadable. Her father cleared his throat. "Kola, regret is easy when suffering visits. What have you changed?" "I stopped drinking," Kola replied quickly. "I work now. I have sense." Ebony finally spoke. I believe you, she said softly. Cola's head lifted immediately. Hope rushed into his eyes. I forgive you. Relief washed over him like rain after drought. But then she added, gently, firmly, I cannot return to you. The room fell silent. Cola blinked. What do you mean? Ebony folded her hands. You married another woman. I did, he admitted, quickly adding, but that marriage has no peace. She nodded slowly. And mine now is peace. Cola's heart dropped. There is someone, Ebony continued, her voice steady. A widower. He treats my children like his own. He does not shout. He does not raise his hand. He listens. Cola felt something tear inside him. You love him? He asked. Ebony hesitated, then answered honestly. Yes. Cola opened his mouth, then closed it. There were no arguments left to make. I forgave you so I could sleep, she added. Not so I could return. Cola left that house smaller than when he entered. At home, Ngozi was waiting. You went to beg that woman again? She asked sharply. Cola said nothing. Ngozi scoffed. Next time, don't waste transport money. Years passed. Ngozi never bore him a child. Arguments replaced conversation. Silence replaced laughter. Sometimes Cola would sit alone in the evening, watching other men walk home to houses filled with children's voices. He remembered Ebony's quiet strength, her food ready, her patience, her dignity. One night, he whispered into the dark, I broke my own blessing. Ngozi heard him once and laughed. Don't whisper regrets. They won't cook food. Old age came early to Cola. Palm wine no longer tasted sweet. The beer parlor no longer welcomed him. People still greeted him, but no one admired him. Sometimes he saw Ebony in the market, standing beside a man who smiled easily, children laughing around her. She greeted Cola politely, like a stranger who once knew her name. That politeness hurt more than anger ever could. One evening, alone in his room, Cola spoke aloud, though no one was listening. Some lessons come too late. And that was how Cola lived. Not cursed, not punished by fire, but by memory, a lifelong regret, walking beside him, until the end of his days. Moral of the story. Forgiveness does not always restore what abuse destroyed. Some doors close quietly and never reopen. If this story spoke to you, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay prayerful. Stay wise.